Meteorologist Allison Pryor has more on how the weather played a key role in the critical World War II invasion. Fascinating to be talking about this on Veterans Day. Allison?
It is, Cindy. You know, as we're dealing with the rain and clouds by the Tennessee River today, in the past, the forecast for D-Day, the largest amphibious invasion in history, was critical for it to be successful. Multiple variables of weather, moon, and tide were all had to be considered to make sure the attack would succeed.
A year's worth of planning took place leading up to the invasion of Normandy, France on D-Day.
And one of the key components for the plan was hashed out by Allied meteorologists because they wanted to have perfect conditions for the landing.
High wind and rough seas would make navigating and landing craft on the beaches difficult. Plus, the plan was to move in at dawn, so moonlight and cloud cover were considered.
They wanted to make sure that the pilots had full visibility, and they also wanted the tide to be coming in, but at high tide, so that the landing craft could better propel themselves forward.
Only a few dates in June 1944 were determined to have the proper moon and tide combination. The invasion was originally scheduled for June 5th.
But on the evening of June 4th, 1944, the meteorologists decided that the optimum conditions would not be met on the 5th.
Impending stormy conditions were forecasted. Meteorologists in 1944 didn't have all the technology of sophisticated radar and satellites that we do now. They relied on measurements of pressure, temperature, and humidity to determine the vital forecast for thousands of soldiers. British Group Captain James Stagg convinced Allied Supreme Commander Dwight Eisenhower to postpone.
The decision was made to scrap it for the 5th and to actually launch the invasion of Normandy on June 6th, 1944.
Allied meteorologists believed that there would be a break in the stormy weather on the 6th. However, the Germans thought the bad weather would persist, so many soldiers were allowed to leave their posts at the beaches thinking the Allies would not invade, giving the Allies the upper hand.
The invasion of the 5 beaches of Normandy set up the Allies for future success in Europe, and this isn't the only instance that weather played a dramatic role in the outcome of a war. If you go back to the American Revolutionary War, a turning point happened when Washington crossed a frozen Delaware River on Christmas evening. Reporting live in Chattanooga, Allison Pryor, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.